I mean, I need some sleep. All right. Well,
So
yeah, let's get
wrap
started
up week
here.
one.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think probably the most important one out of all of them. Honestly, it's how you start it. We're gonna play a game. Every time Andrea says time blocking, we're gonna take a shot. So
Time blocking or
we're gonna
affirmations is the big one in this one.
we're gonna be on the floor by the end of this. So hope everyone had a good New Year's. Good to see everyone again. Missed you guys last week, but yeah, we're gonna get back to it. This is kind of Andrea's specialty, so she's gonna do most of the talking this morning, and we'll go from there. So this one is about your goals, your planning, and your systems, and really running your business. So go ahead, Miss Andrea.
I can't read that. It's got to be bigger. You forget I'm old. I can't see that.
If you guys can, I read it. I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its contents.
So affirmations, that's what that is. Who here actually practices affirmations? Come on, y'all should put your hand up. It's a good start to a good day, right? So I'll preach affirmations a lot during this because I feel like affirmations, a smile at the mirror, telling yourself, today's going to be great. I'm a leader of my life and I'm going to control everything that's going on, things like that will get a good start to your day, right? Because it gets you in a positive mindset. And, in business, positive mindset is everything. You don't realize you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you're having a bad day, right? But you can change that. Go high five yourself in a mirror and give yourself a good affirmation. It may sound silly, but it's 100% worth it for a good start to the day. So today we are going to talk about, I just did, the importance of a positive mindset, right? Why that's important, not just in career, but also in your life. We're going to go over a summary of tools that you will use. We're probably not going to get too much into the tools because Amanda does go through a lot of that stuff with you. But if you have questions, we'll do like the few ones that we are going to use and why we use them, but we're not going to go super in depth with that. And if you have questions, just reach out to Amanda. Not today though, because she's busy. Thinking like a business owner. Resource library of recommended books. I have my own resource library and I'll share a couple of those with you as we go along here. Writing your SMART goals. We're not going to write the goals today, but we're going to go by why it's important that you write your goals, what a SMART goal is. And at the end of this call, I'm going to email everybody who's on here the actual 2023 business plan, which is your goals. And I expect you all to email them back. Like it's going to be homework. And I do expect to see that come back to me because I want to be able to hold you guys accountable too. Right. So if I don't know what your goal is throughout the year, I can't be like, hey, Tyler, how you doing with your goals or anything. I can't keep up with that if I don't know what it is. So that's going to be your homework. Creating a budget and expense worksheet. We are not going to do that one today, Brian. I'm sorry, but that one takes forever. But we are going to, in March, do a whole training on that in March. So we're going to take that one off the table. And current productivity, well, we're all new. So nobody has any productivity right now. If you do, I would like to talk about it. If you guys have things you're working on, what I want to do during that time is talk about what you got and how we can help you get that, help you. Well, how was I saying? Help you guys basically. How we can get that.
Goodness, we've got. I know at least two of them have some stuff going on right now. So we'll have
Then
some
we'll
stuff.
talk about that
Tyler's
at the
got some
TED.
stuff. Tom's got some stuff going on. So yeah. And what she's talking about is the budget that we're going to do in March. We do in-person trainings every Wednesday, and for those of you who haven't been to any of those yet, those are super, super helpful. So a lot of experienced agents come to that, but the more often you guys can come to in-person stuff, the Zoom stuff is great. It's a great way to start your week, but the more stuff you can come to in person, the better it's going to be for you guys. Being around like-minded agents and people that are having success.
Exactly.
Oh, first shot of the day.
Time blocking. Well, here's the funny story. I'm not really going to talk a lot about time blocking. I'm going to tell you how important it is, but I'm going to tell you to come to my training on Wednesday at 10 at the Charlotte office. And we are going to really dive deep into time blocking on Wednesday, because that's Wednesday's training. So I'm just going to go over the importance of time blocking today. And then we're really going to dive in deep on Wednesday. Personal accountability. We're definitely going to talk about that, because how important is it for you to hold yourself accountable? If you don't have anybody in your back corner, it has to be you, right? You're the only person that's driving this business. We're all business owners, and you need to drive this business in the direction of your goals. Various types of prospecting. We'll go over ways that, and everybody's different with prospecting, and we'll talk about that. Using scripts and dialogue. How many of you actually use scripts? Who doesn't like scripts? I kind of want to, well, I guess we'll talk about it afterwards, because I'm going to give you my opinion, and I'm sure it's different from everybody else here. But we'll get to that when we get to the scripts part. Committing to a prospecting schedule. We'll talk about why that's important. But again, we're going to dive deep on Wednesday at 10 in our Charlotte office. Lead follow-up and how important that is, and utilizing your GPS tools, which is everything that's in your one login. Brian, I need you to switch the screen.
Yep.
So developing your business mindset. Characteristics of real estate success: a great work ethic, and unwavering perseverance. Well, why is that important? Well, it's important because if you're not pushing yourself forward, are you going to succeed, right? So that's you want to make sure that your goals in your mind, and that's where you're headed towards, and you're doing all the steps in order to get there. And a positive make it happen mindset. Use those affirmations. Start doing it. I promise you guys won't be disappointed when you wake up and high five yourself in the mirror. It may seem weird at first, but after a while, just that extra little high five telling yourself you're great and today's going to be a great day is going to change your mindset to waking up in the morning and being happy, even after you haven't slept all night with a puppy screaming in his crate. I promise.
And listen, that mindset is super important. I mean, just last week I had to go to the commission, right? And I could have let that ruin my whole week. I've got an issue with another agent, and my mindset was, I was just smiling the whole time, right? Because I have to go out, I have to take more listings, I have to do what it is to put food on the table. So your mindset, you guys will find, real estate can be crazy. There's a lot of ups and downs, and you have to stay in that positive mindset at all times.
Hey, Brian, do you remember, real quick on a side note, do you remember what the stress level is of a real estate agent? Like a scale of 1 to 10 so what they do is they scale jobs based off stress, 1 to 10.
Right.
What do you guys think real estate agent is?
Anybody? Tom, what do you think?
Sorry?
It's a very high
like
stress.
7,
So 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest.
I think 7 and 8.
It is. It's actually 7.5. And you wouldn't think of it. Like a police officer ranks as a 5. To me, that I think a police officer, like high stress job, you're going into work, you don't know if you're coming home today, right? That to me is stressful. But ours, a real estate agent ranks higher than that. That to me is crazy. But once you get transactions going and you'll see what it means, because 1 second everything's going kosher, and then all of a sudden all 5 deals you have are just falling apart. And you have to know, okay, I have to be in a positive mindset, right? I have to know that I'm going to get through this. And Brian and I are here to help you. So just know that, as well as Amanda and Diana. You got a great leadership behind you, willing to help you through these. So don't think you have to, tread these waters alone. But I just want to throw that out there. A real estate agent is actually super high stress of a job.
Yes. And you gotta let that stress out. Like I said, when you guys start getting your first couple of transactions, like don't bottle it in. Call somebody. If you're not talking to me and Andrea or Amanda, call somebody else, because it'll keep you up at night. I mean, it's happened to me before. But now I know it is what it is. What's gonna happen is gonna happen, and I gotta get my own sleep.
Exactly. And it does keep you up at night. Cool. So work ethic. I mean, I would hope everybody on here knows you need to have a great work ethic, because if not, you're a business owner. Your business is going to fail if you don't know what what work ethic is and how to effectively work through things. So you need to be diligent, hard work, and definitely self-discipline, because nobody else is pushing you to get to your goals. You're pushing. I'm going to I'm going to ask you to email me your goals afterwards, and I'm going to help push you, but I'm not going to see you guys every day to ask you how you're doing. So you have to be self-disciplined. You need to be consistent. Consistency is key in real estate. If you're not consistent, you're going to have a hard time actually driving forward and getting all those clients. And stick to your schedule. Take a shot, because I'm going to say you're going to have to time block here. Okay. Time blocking is also key in real estate. If you don't time block, and I'm not just talking, let's time block my appointments. I'm talking time blocking your kids' piano recital or baseball, time block family time in, taking a vacation somewhere, but bring your laptop, because when you take a vacation, that is when you get the most business. I promise you. You want business, go on vacation, right, Brian?
Yep.
But you have to time block those things. If you don't, then your family is going to suffer, because you're just going to be driving towards that goal of your career and banging out all these appointments, and you're going to forget, I was supposed to go to that piano recital, or I was supposed to go to dinner with my in-laws. Don't forget to time block that stuff in. And this is my favorite part. 30 to 60 days is a habit change. A whole year of time blocking is a lifestyle change. It doesn't just become habit, it becomes part of your life, right? You can go next. Perseverance, continued and patient effort. Be committed, be accountable. Who's holding you guys accountable? Yourselves, right? So that's where the self-discipline comes in here. You have to make sure you're also holding yourself accountable. Put your why on the paper. Why am I doing this why am I in real estate? My why is so I can be at my son's piano recital. And so I can make sure that I say no around my schedule and scheduling in the family time. That's why I'm in real estate. Plus I worked in corporate America, and I just don't get along with people telling me what to do, but that's a side note. But you're holding yourself accountable. So make sure that you have that self-discipline to hold yourself accountable. And great salespeople figure it out. We don't expect you guys to actually figure it out right now, because I don't agree with the fake it till you make it type thing. I feel like you guys have a ton of experience in your back pocket. You have me, you have Brian, you have Amanda, you have Diana, and every one of us will pick up our phone. And if we can't right now, I will text you and be like, I'm so sorry, I'll get back to you soon. But you've got all of our experience. You have well over 30 years experience of real estate in your back pocket. So if you don't know the answer, you say, I'll be right back with you, and call one of us. We do have.
I think, and Tyler, out of everyone on this call, Tyler's been the best about that. I mean, I know there's times he feel like he's bothering me, but I mean, there's times he calls me 7 or 8 times in a day, but he also just got his first listing, and he's getting showings already, and he's in the process of getting 2 or 3 more listings. So it's like, he's out there hustling and working hard, but he's using
Tyler,
his
are you time blocking? Right?
Yeah, I do my prospecting in the mornings, previews and showings in the afternoon.
That's awesome.
He's been so super, super consistent, but it's because he's already got a schedule. Like, he's been doing this for a long time, and the stuff that he doesn't know, which is no knock on you, it's a good bit, right? And he's not scared to pick up the phone. So that's exactly what you're talking about, Andrea. Is using your tool bag.
Mm-hmm. And a positive mindset. Attitude is everything. And that's really all I have to talk about. If you understand that attitude is everything, a smile on your face, your day is going to be great, whether you woke up on the wrong side of the bed or not. Self-talk matters. You should tell yourself, I'm a leader. I'm going to lead this business to success, right? It's important, because you're going to have times where your transaction is falling apart and there's nothing you can do about it. But you may not be able to control the situation, and Brian's laughing because he knows, but you may not be able to control the situation. But what can you control? You can control how you handle the situation. And that takes a lot of stress off of your shoulders by knowing what was I saying? I don't have to be negative about this, right? I don't have to look at this and say, this is a negative. This is learning, like fail forward, right? If it's falling apart, let's learn from it and fail forward and continue on the same path.
Yes, for sure. I had my first closing of the year last week, and the guy was at the closing table, walked out of the attorney's office, said, I'm not signing. And I could have freaked out, but I mean, he felt my positive mindset. I talked to him for a few minutes. I talked to the attorney, and he went back in there and signed. Um, I mean, it can go that close, right? A lot of times it falls apart before and there's issues, but it can fall apart all the way literally up to they sign on that dotted line. So, it is what it is. But if I would have freaked out, he would have freaked out and he wouldn't have signed. So it is about just knowing what's gonna. I mean, it is what it is at some point. And just kind of explain the situation to him, got him to the closing table.
I love that you just said that, Brian, because I live by that it is what it is. You can't control what's happening, right? You can't. It's going to happen. It is what it is. But you
can kind of control their emotions. And that is, there's a fine line, because the biggest part of our jobs, and all of you will find that getting the client is easy. Getting them under contract, whether it's a buyer or seller, is easy. It is controlling their expectations and their emotions through escrow is our job. So it is what it is. But at the same time, like, if I set them up for failure by saying that, oh, you'll never have to do any repairs, or you'll never have to do this, or no money's going to come out, then you're setting yourself up for failure. But it is just controlling emotions. It's like, it's being like a preschool teacher, really. It's like you're just controlling a bunch of emotions of people. And it can be tough, but if you know that's your job going in, then it's easier to do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So take personal responsibility. You're 100% responsible for this business that each and every one of you are running, right? Check in with yourself often. Focus on what you want, not what you're seeing. Like, don't look at other agents and see what they're doing. You need to make it into what's important to you. You need to figure out what your niche is. Don't compare yourself to other agents. Some agents hit the ground running. Some agents take 2 years to get their first transaction. Don't compare yourself to any of these other agents. You are your own person, and you're
don't listen to other negative agents. I talked to an agent just last week. I'm not going to mention any names, but just a very solid agent. Oh, this is going to be a tough year. This is going to be hard. No, this is not at all. Listen, I'm gonna thrive in 2023. I'm already off to a great start. I'm gonna crush it this year. So I mean, you can't. I mean, if someone's talking positive, obviously listen to that. But if you got a negative agent out there just being negative, that's on them. That's because they're not checking in with themselves and not focused on what they want. That's on them. So it's easy to get caught up in that he said, she said stuff, but there's X amount of people that are going to buy and sell regardless of your mentality. It's just a matter of if your mentality is in the positive mindset that you're going to go out there and get your share of it.
People see that. People see your positive mindset and they're attracted to it, right? If you're out there positive, smiling, hey, how's your day? They're attracted to that. And they're going to come use you versus that agent that says it's going to be horrible. They're just, if they think 2023 is going to be bad, it's going to be bad for them. I can tell you, I see the market. I think 2023 is going to be great for us. I really do. I already see all these buyers. I see that the market has righted itself. It's where it should be. This is a normal market. It's not your seller's market. It's not your buyer's market. This is a normal market. The last 2 years, and I totally got sidetracked, sorry, but this is important for them to hear. The last 2 years has been in a market we'll never see again. It was a very thriving market. It was a seller's market and buyers were just kicked to the curb because the investors were coming in with cash. You will not see a market like this again. I don't see how it could, but 2023 is going to be great. I can see it already. A lot of our agents are off to a good start, like you just said, Brian.
Yes. Okay.
Clients first mentality. Make a commitment to your client and what they need, right? That's what's important here. Always work to their best interest, not what's best for you. We all know what's best for you is getting them to the closing table, right? So you make money. That's not always what's best for them. They may not see the red flags in this transaction, and it's for you to make sure that you see that and you call it out. They're going to get to the closing table. It just may not be today, tomorrow, right?
Yeah, but and if you don't call out the red flags, they will call you out for not having their back. Exactly. And that's the last thing you want is your client feeling like to ask you, who are you working for? And do all you care about is that I sign, right? And and listen, I'll be honest, I've had a client call me out for that, right? And there's times where you just want to get them to the closing table, but you have to make sure that their interests are first. So you want to make sure that you always let them know that you're working for them. You're not working for the other agent. You're not working with the other agent. You're not working for the other person on the other side. So it's a fine line, right? Like at the end of the day, you want everyone to get to the closing table, but you also want them to be happy, because when you're able to, I get a lot of good reviews. I mean, that's where you get a lot of business from in the future, right? So keeping those clients happy is how you're going to make more money in the long run than just this one single transaction.
The way I look at it, if you see the red flags and you're pointing them out, they may not close, which means you don't make the money, but you're going to make it triple fold, because they're going to remember that. And the next time somebody says, I want to move, we want to sell our house and upgrade, guess who they're telling them to call? It's going to be you, because you actually had their best interest at heart and you looked out for that. I've done it. I can't tell you, I've been in this business for almost 14 years now. And I've got to where it's repeat business. And some of these, it was funny, I just got one the other day and I Zoomed with them and I don't even remember. I had to go back in my files to remember the person that referred them. And I'm like, who was that again? And I had to go back in my files to look at what house they bought, because I remember people by houses instead of by names a lot. I get to know them and I know like their kids move, but you guys need to get there. And the way that I got there was keeping their interest at heart, like looking out for them. There's been multiple times where I've told the client not to buy because it's not just the right time for them, right? Yeah. They're going to come back and they're always going to remember. I hate these two slides. I'm just going to tell you that. So we're going to go through these two really fast. And if Brian has something to say, I don't know why I just don't like these slides, these two. Okay.
Yeah. And there's a few that are like, obviously the first one is show confidence. And I'll spend a minute on this one because I know a lot of you guys are newer. And I told this to Tyler the other day when I ran a point with him. And at the end of the day, you don't have a lot of transactions. You don't have any transactions, but you can be confident. Like Andrew just said a minute ago, you have over 30 years of experience in your tool bag. We do transactions every single day. So be confident that the Realty One Group is the right company to sell their house or to help them buy the transaction. So the confidence is huge. When I get out of my car and walk into a house, they see me like I'm ready to go. Like I know in the first 5 minutes they're going to sign with me because they feel my vibe and my energy. Like I'm walking in and they're asking me to sign the paperwork because of how confident I am. And that's what they want to see. So, if you guys are going in super timid and shy, and it's easy for a new agent to do that, at the end of the day, you're selling yourself. And are you the right person? Are you going to work hard to get them to the transaction? And hopefully the answer is yes, or you wouldn't be on Rev Up on a Monday morning, right? So to me, the most important is confidence of this. Again, Tyler, I mean, how many times have I said rapport to you? 50 million times. I mean, it's confidence and rapport is so huge. If you're just going in and talking straight business, the old saying, and I hate myself already for saying this, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. It's the stupidest saying, but it honest to God is the truth, right?
As you spend an hour. To say that, Brian. I was just about to say that.
It is the absolute truth. Obviously dress professional. I mean, I'm a slacks and dress shirt. I mean, I'm not wearing a blazer, but if that's your style, rock a blazer. If you want to wear a nice dress or whatever it is, I'm not showing up in sandals and flip flops and shorts. I'm there to win the job. Communicate at all hours in a timely manner. Andrew's a lot better than I am. I know at 7:01 her phone goes into do not disturb, and I'm not hearing back from her. And that's amazing. She's at a point in her career where she can do that, and she's very good at doing that. I was messaging somebody almost 10 o'clock last night, and that's it's a bad habit. But keep your vehicle in top condition. I know Andrew doesn't like this one. Listen, pulling up in a clean car is nice. It does help. I'm a sales guy. There's times where like if they look inside my car, there's a bunch of food in the passenger seat and stuff. But try to keep your car clean. Sense of humor goes a long way. Obviously, being positive is huge. And this one seems stupid. Take a lot of notes. Taking notes while you're there. I do it on my iPad all the time. I'm writing stuff down, and it shows them that you care and that you're trying to do the right thing. So we won't spend a ton of time on these. Men, if you have any other one, or Andrew, if you have any other ones.
I just want to talk about me put my phone on silent really quick because I have a family, right? I just want to jump back to that one. And I've done it for a while, and it's not more, I guess, yes, I'm comfortable in my career and I'm in that place, but I think you all are at that place. If you guys have a set time where you tell and you set the expectation up front with your clients, like if you text me or call me after 9:00, I will not get back to you till 7:00 in the morning. But I can tell you, and I tell them the same thing. I can tell you, if you're texting me at 2 a.m., when I wake up at 5 a.m., and I do wake up at 5 every day, guys, I am going to text them back at 5 a.m., even though they just text me at 2, because you just broke my rule. I set that expectation. I will not, like, you can text me, sure, but you're going to get a response back at 5, because if you're texting me or calling me at 9:00 at night, you know I can't do anything about it till 7:00, 8:00, 9:00 the next morning anyway. There's nothing we can do about it. Brian, what did you talk about at 10:00 last night?
I mean, it could have probably waited. But yeah,
always wait. Like if it's after 9:00, you're not communicating with the other side.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, if it's to ease, I will get on the phone after 9:00 if it is to ease their, like if they're like getting cold feet and stuff, I'll get on the phone. Don't think I'm not going to talk to you guys after 9:00. If it's pressing, I will get on there, but there's most of the time it can wait. So set that expectation is what I'm saying up front. If you guys have times that you just can't work, or it's just cutting into your family schedule, like I have a lender that doesn't work between 5 and 7:30 because he has dinner with his family and then he puts his kids down for bed and then he goes right back to it after 7:30. So he set that expectation up front, and I think it's great. He tells everybody, I'm not working between 5 and 7:30. And that's okay because the expectation was set up front. Okay, cool. Sorry. I had to go over that.
And these are just a few don'ts. The first one is probably the most important. I mean, don't put your competition down. It's so easy to do that, but honestly, if there's something to be put down, your buyer or seller will do that for you, right? Like I'm not ever going to talk up, and I will let them know that, like, I'm not going to say anything bad about them. I'm not sure of their situation. This is how I do it though. And that goes a long way, right? And there's times where people will try to set you up so you will talk bad about the competition. You can't, right? You're not allowed to talk bad about other agents. But B, it's just not a good look. So just make sure you're not talking trash about your competition.
It looks poorly on you. You know, you're talking trash about somebody. It looks poorly. And then they look at it like, well, what happens when we're done here? Are they going to talk like that about me? You don't want to put them in that position to think that about you.
Definitely. Don't sell desperate, which is on here twice. But yeah, I mean, people can feel that energy when you're there. If you're going to take a listing at any price, if you're going to take a listing at any commission, stick to your morals and what needs to be done. Excuses, there's a million excuses, but at the end of the day, like Andrew said before, like you gotta check yourself and make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing. Yeah, don't ask a question they can answer no to. I mean, that's just old sales. You want to set them up to say yes, and the chicken head, and have them saying yes. So when you get done at the end, they're saying yes. But again, that first one is, I think, the most important. And obviously, you're not going to criticize your client. That would be not great.
Yeah. So this goes off of affirmations, visualizations. Listen to positive, powerful audiobooks, CDs, and podcasts. Get your mind in the right mindset, right? Positive mindset brings success. Experience the feelings of victory. It might be a small thing. Like today, I'm going to get I got one that I have to do today. I have to empty my dishwasher. It's been clean for 2 days and I hate doing it. So honestly, that would be a small victory if I got my dishwasher emptied today. Right? So celebrate those small victories. It puts you in a great mindset. Sit comfortably and run your perfect outcome video in your head. Okay, I've got this transaction. It would be great if the next step went this way, right? You visualize it, and guess what? A lot of times it's going to happen because you're in that positive mindset. You're knowing what to expect. You can kind of drive it in that direction. Consider 10 to 20 minutes of daily meditation. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have 10 to 20 minutes a day to meditate. I don't even think I know how to meditate, but hey, if it's your thing, do it. but just take, if you can't, or and prayer, like I don't know your religious beliefs, but take meditation or prayer, or just sit down doing nothing for 10 to 20 minutes, literally. And I'm saying nothing, just give yourself a break. If you're having a bad day, just giving yourself that breathing break is going to bring you back to that positive mindset.
Yeah, a good example of the feeling of victory and accomplishment is I do that for when I set an appointment. So my goal is to set several appointments every week. So every time I set an appointment, I'll go to the gym or I'll play the game for a minute. Like I celebrate that because like that's a big thing. I mean, I didn't get a new client, but I set an appointment, and that's a huge step. So I think for everyone on this call, like try to set a goal of setting one new appointment this week. And Tyler will set 4 appointments a day. But set a goal of setting one appointment this week. And then when you get it, celebrate, whether it's going to the gym or relaxing for a minute or having a beer or whatever the case is, like enjoy that. That's something that you can do, and then figure out how to do that more often.
Mm-hmm. And create a vision board. We're going to do that during our goals. I do vision boards all the time. But the reason why you do it when you're doing your goals, a vision board, is so you can see it. You see it on paper, and this is what I'm striving. This is why I need to get to my goals, is so I can have that vacation in Hawaii or whatever it might be. This is still affirmations. I feel like this is
there's affirmations for
there's
days.
Lots of them. I could make everybody give me an affirmation, make them wake up, because nobody else is talking, and I like
Carlos, hit me with some kind of affirmation.
Come on.
I think you're muted.
Affirmation, but I don't know. I like the whole stay positive thing and think positive. I really believe in that. So I try to stay positive every morning. I come up with something positive in my mind every morning.
I love that.
Right, I like it.
That's important. That's
Tom,
what makes.
Hit us with something, Tom.
What's that?
Yes.
Give us something positive. Give us an affirmation.
Yes, I always believe that positive things will lead to positive results, like every morning.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I try to make it like positive for everything.
Maisha, what you got besides that nice jacket on?
I don't have anything like right off the bat, but I try to I usually post positive quotes every morning on Facebook or different social media sites or whatever.
Well, I don't know if I'm following you, but I'm gonna start following you. I need to see those daily.
Actually,
you might have a new friend after this.
Okay.
I have an app.
Tyler,
on my
that gives me. You have any affirmations you go by?
Yeah, every day I wake up and want to be in the top 1% of agents. So I do what it takes to get there.
That's great. Michelle?
I think she said she was driving, so she might not be able to.
Oh, that's right.
There you go. She said it. Hold on. She texted it to us or messaged us. I attract people that help me meet my goals. I think that's right. I like that. Attract. That
might be my favorite one yet. I mean, all y'all's is good too, but that might be my favorite one yet. And again, just like Andrew mentioned at the beginning, we have a in-person meeting this Wednesday at 10 o'clock. If you can make it, be around other agents that are having success. I mean, that's going to rub off on you guys, right?
I'll be there. I'll be more put together. I promise. I hope.
Maybe there's
a big maybe in there. It depends on how much sleep I get. All right. So this one is setting the stage for success. The tools that you need, right? You need a laptop. You don't really need a camera, to be honest, because we have photographers for that. But if you're good at it, I highly recommend you do your own photos. Brian, I gotta be honest, I can't see it. I am so blind.
I mean, so we're not gonna go. Obviously, the most important one on here is stamps. Make sure you have stamps. I'm just kidding.
Why is that, Brian? What about fax machine? What about a fax machine?
Fax machine and stamps. I mean, you guys don't. You need to have a vehicle. Yeah, business cards. Obviously, smartphone. I mean, this is basic. We're not spending a lot of time on this stuff. I mean, you guys know what you need to have. But you gotta have the basics. Here's your favorite word again.
Yeah, time blocking. So time block each day and preview active listings. And like I said, we're definitely going to do some time blocking, serious, like in-depth training on Wednesday. Your job is to know the market. Does anybody know where you can find out what's going on with the market? Anybody? If you do, throw it out there so everybody else knows. And you need to know it well. So inside, since nobody's thrown it out there, inside your MLS, there's this thing called a SAMS report. And you can pull it on a neighborhood, you can pull it on your county, you can pull it on the whole Charlotte metropolitan area, right? That's where you're going to find out how many listings have gone on today, how many days on the market they've been on. And you could scale it down, like I said, to a neighborhood. So when you're getting a listing, say I get a listing around the corner from my house, I want to scale that SAMS report down so I can see what's going on in that neighborhood or that 5-mile radius, something like that, depending on how I'm pulling my comps. But it's important that you guys preview that. Go on your MLS, go on what's called SAMS report, SAMS, and just play around in there and get to know your market. Because when you get a listing appointment or you get a buyer, you need to know this market. You need to know what's going on. You need to know that they're sitting on the market now more than they were a year ago, right? There's the same amount of listings, but they're sitting now. But we still have a lot of buyers. So why are they sitting? It's because we're in a healthy market finally.
Okay. And understand that the people that you're going to see know these numbers sometimes. Tyler, remember that guy? He said there's 38 homes within Union County that are active right now. He knew that number to the T, what it was. And I don't know if 38 was the right number. I was making up a number, but he threw that number out. He knew exactly what it was because he's done his research. So, us going out there and not being the expert in our own industry is not a good look. So, know those numbers, know what's active in the area, know what's been withdrawn because it didn't sell. Like know all that stuff is super important.
Just in the morning, take 5 minutes to look through the MLS. It's right on your main page. Okay. And it says it. You don't even have to click into anything. Just log in and right on that page in your login matrix tells you my office listings, how many listings went active today, how many listings expired today. That stuff is right on the first page. Just know that. So you definitely know your market better than the next person because not everybody's looking at that on a daily basis. Identify your strengths. Why do you think identifying your strengths is important? So you know what you have, right? You're unique. Your strengths are different than mine. You're unique. That's why you're better for a listing or for a buyer than I am because of your strengths, right? List your past jobs and role for which you were hired. I don't think we need to do that, but I understand why. I can tell you, we're not going to go through and list them, but I can tell you certain professions like the sales professions and teachers, they do great in real estate. Why do you think that is? It's because what they've been taught and what's ingrained in their head during their jobs while they were doing it. It doesn't mean everybody can't learn it. It just means, your strengths in there just match what's in real estate. List the activities you perform that you enjoy the most. Well, those activities, it could be anything. I'm talking personal or career-wise. It depends on what it is. Like activity that I perform that I enjoy the most, I'm great at negotiating. I'm not going to lie. Like I must have the best poker face. I'm good at it, which makes great for when you're negotiating because your transactions, right?
Don't play poker with Andrea.
Don't. And the activities you like the least, like I can't stand door knocking. I do not get my clients from door knocking. That's just not me. I'm a person that will go and join a club or something and just talk people up and then they find out I'm a real estate. Like that's what I'm good at. I suck at door knocking. I get the door slammed in my face. I don't know what it is about it because I'm a good personal person, right? If they saw me at the grocery store rather than at their front door, it'd be a different story. They'd love me. But for some reason at the front door, I get like, I don't know, tunnel vision and I don't know why I'm there when they open the door. So I sound like a fool when they open the door. So I know I'm not good at that. So I'm not going to do it, right? But I'm going to work on the stuff I am good at.
I can imagine running into the grocery store, like everything in my cart, like my ice cream is melted by the time I finish talking to you.
Oh my God, yeah, it would be. Sorry, my bad. It would good. I like melted ice cream. It's like, it's all right. It still tastes good, whether it's melted or not. But yeah, that could happen. Run your business like a business, right? We all are running a business here. We are all business owners here. So we need to run this like this is our own business. It's either going to do well or it's not. And that's up to you. That's how you run your business. We're here to help you. We've got the tools to back you up, but you have to know that you're running a business here. Are you here because you're serious about building a successful business and create a valued asset? Well, I hope you're all saying yes in this. Do you want a business you can sell or pass down? I mean, that's important. A lot of real estate people build their business, and their book of business they'll sell when they're starting to retire. They will actually sell their book of business. Or are you here to just earn extra money? We have a lot of part-time agents, and that's okay. It's what you're here for, and you're going to run it as what's important to you. We're going to skip this one because I'm going to email this to them and tell them to do some homework. Okay, so that was in your business plan. And I'm going to email, I wrote down everybody's name who's here, and I'm going to email you guys all the 2023 business plan, and I want you guys to complete it. And I'll tell you what page, because it's long, and there's a few pages in there for new agents that you don't need to do. I'll email you all and say, do page 1s, 5, and 10 and email it back to me. Okay, so building your team. This one's super important. I don't mean your team of real estate agents around you. We are your team. Don't get me wrong. We are in your back pocket. We are here to help you. But you need to build a successful transaction team. So your mortgage lenders, they're always calling you and saying, can I take you to lunch? Do it. Go to lunch with that mortgage lender. Get to know some of those and start using them, because you want to find a good person that you jive with, because you're going to give your clients to these people. You need to trust them if you're giving your clients to them. So go to that lunch when they call you and ask you to go to lunch so you can get to know them. I can tell you there's some lenders out there that I will not use. I can tell you some that I love, I absolutely love. And sometimes building that trust and love isn't always the answer either, because they might drop the ball here or there. And you have to be comfortable enough to tell them when they're dropping the ball. So you need to build that trust and rapport with them. Your attorneys, we have a partnered attorney, Michael and Gray. They're awesome, but you guys may not like them and your clients may not like them. And he's going to take you to lunch too. Get to know him. Title, we are not a title state, so that one should not be in here. We should take that one out, Brian. Home inspectors, home warranty, we do have that. Home repairs, find yourself a handyman. That's important. You're going to have things that come up on the inspection that you need a punch list done on. Make sure that you know some handyman. Lawn care, roofing. I mean, I could go off for days. Roofing. I got a solar panel guy. You've got pressure washing people. Build that team. Get to know. Like, my favorite thing that I say is I have a guy, right? Because I built my team. I have people that can do just about anything. And if you guys want their names, please reach out. If you need,
you definitely look like the expert when you can walk in and, for on the buying side, the buyer picks the attorney, right? So a lot of times they don't know an attorney. Like, look, I've got one that I use all the time, right? On the listing side, I need to repair this. I need to do this. I've got a guy that can do this, right? So when you have the answer to all that stuff, it definitely makes you look like the expert, especially the mortgage person. Like Andrea's saying, like, they are chomping at the bit. I'm getting messages on Instagram, Facebook every single day. Like, hey, let me take you to lunch. Let me buy you drinks. Like, they want to work with you. Find one or two people that you looked at. I introduced Tom to a couple of people a few weeks back, and I believe he's worked with or talked to at least both of them. Find someone that you're comfortable with, because that'll get you business, right? If you're talking to a potential buyer, a lot of times the reason they're not going to show houses with you is they're embarrassed because they don't know if they have the credit or they can get approved. But hey, look, I've got a mortgage person. They're awesome. I love them. I trust them. Let me go ahead and get you an application started, and then we can move forward, right? So you actually get business by having a team behind you, right?
Mm-hmm. We do. And it helps you on social media building your business, right? If you're that person that's always of value to other people on social media. So, the WhatsApp pages. So you're going on WhatsApp and somebody says, hey, I need a roofer. All you're doing is recommending this roofer. You do that so many times where you're just helping them. They start to look at you and say, man, Maisha is always commenting and always has somebody in this, and I always see her name pop up. Then they end up on your site going, oh, look at that. She's a real estate agent. My brother's trying to buy a house. Boom. They're reaching out to you, right? So you want to be of value. So build that team so you can be of value. And that also helps you build your business. All right, the SMART goals. we're going to go over this and why SMART is important in building your goals. You can keep going. I mean, they can read that, specific, measurable, but we're going to talk about it. So the big picture, where are you now? You need to know, where am I right now? Where do I want to be? Where do I need to get to go? So if I dropped you off in the Sahara Desert, how would you get home? Does it, so I'm at the Sahara Desert now. I need to get home. How am I getting there?
Uber.
Remember, you're the business owner. I'm not telling you how you're going to get there. I'm going to guide you. I'm going to be behind you with a stick, pushing you, right? But I'm definitely not telling you which way to go. Like, I might give you a little nudge once in a while. This is what you need to do. But you are the business owner. You have to know where you are now, where you want to go. Skip this one as part of the business plan. Transactions. So this one's part of the business plan too. So what it does is it breaks down. I need to, and you can skip this one too, but same with this one. So the business plan basically breaks down. I want to make, say, you put that number. I want to make 60 grand this year in real estate. I need to do X amount of transactions per year, which comes down to so many per month, so many conversations per day, right?
Has anyone thought of that yet? I mean, obviously we're at the beginning of January, and going, December is when I was making my plan for January. Carlos, so do you have any expectations of the year, or how much volume you want to do? Do you have how many transactions you want to do? Or, I mean, do you have any kind of goals that you want to accomplish this year?
I actually came into the office. I came into the office with them and did the 2023 business plan. So I went through this. I got it all filled out earlier with them in the office last month.
Nice. What came out of it? Was it more of a transaction or volume thing, or where are you at?
I didn't hear the first part of your question.
What did you end up on? I mean, how much did you want to do? A certain amount of volume or a certain number of transactions, or what was your goal?
Well, it was money for a certain dollar amount I was trying to reach.
Nice.
And then we just broke it down to the commission and how many I would have to sell. And like she said, breaking it down to how many people I need to reach and a certain amount of people to close out of the people that I reach. Basically, it was it.
Maisha, what's your goal for 2023?
The dollar amount?
What? No, I was asking Maisha. I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
We just had this conversation in our mentor meeting last week with Kaswana. I didn't actually put like a cap. I said I said a minimum. I don't want anything less than $1 million.
Okay, so over $1 million this year. That's a good goal. It's an obtainable goal. Tom, what's your goal heading into 2023?
I want to build my network and start promoting myself and gaining more experience.
Okay, nice.
That's my main goal. And
yeah, so his goal isn't specifically a volume or a number thing. It's I just want to gain knowledge and build my presence. That's a good goal. Tyler, anything specific you're looking to do this year?
Yeah, my goal is 40 transactions.
It's a big goal. That is a very big. How you gonna get there? I mean, how many do you need to do a month? I mean, is that realistic?
We'll see. I got one in 3 weeks. So I think as I build that foundation out, I spend a couple hours a day prospecting and following up. So I think it's obtainable, but it's up there.
Yeah, it's absolutely up there. But I've also seen what you've done in the last 3 weeks. So I think if anyone can do it, you can do it.
Dude, two previews a day is my goal. So if you can land a certain percent of that, once I build that rapport and learn that sales aspect that we've been talking about, that's what I've got to brush up on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Michelle, again, you're driving. You might not be able to. Might have to put something in the chat, but
she said it. I was thinking a certain volume, but maybe a dollar amount would be better. Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on what you want. Like, you can see everybody's goal is different here. So it's what's important to you. What do you want to make this year? You can go by volume or you can go by dollar amount. My brain works better when I put a dollar amount to it and then break it down to what volume I actually need to make.
Right.
Like that. So, but you have a coach or a mentor, and that mentor can definitely help you through that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like that everyone's goals were kind of all over the place. Is completely different, right? It doesn't matter for you. I mean, my goals, I want a minimum of 8 to 10 listings a month. So that means, so last week I needed 2 listings and I signed 2 listings. And this week I need to probably sign 3 so I can get to that 10, right? So I know where my numbers need to be. And for me, I prefer the transactions, right? I mean, the volume, it is what it is for me. I'm not going to turn down a transaction because of how much volume. So for me, I like transactions. The volume will be what it is for me. So I do it that way, but whatever your specific goal is all that matters.
Exactly. Because you're the business owner. You're going to drive it in the direction that's important to you. Current productivity. So this is where I want to talk about what everybody has going on. What does your week consist of? Is it efficient, organized, highly productive, scattered, disorganized, and wasted time? Everybody should say no to that after Wednesday's training. I'm just saying. Revenue producing versus support activity. Well, what's the difference between that? Well, your support activity is what's pushing towards your revenue and producing, right? They have to be done. The things that I can't stand doing, like paperwork. I don't like doing paperwork, right? I have a transaction coordinator. Yeah, Brian's raising his hand too, because he knows we're the people, right? We want to be in front of them. The more I can be in front of somebody, the better it is that I'm going to get their sale. But I don't want to do that stuff in the background of paperwork and sitting at my computer. I'm just not that person. I'm having a hard time sitting here for almost an hour already, right? But there's people for that. It needs to be done, right? You don't make the money unless all that stuff is done. So what's the difference between that? Revenue producing is getting that transaction, getting that paperwork signed, getting it, under contract. Supportive activity is doing the paperwork, right? Yeah. Exercise, where does the time go? So I want to take a few minutes here and talk about what everybody actually has going on. And if anybody has questions that we can help you with, you've got experience backing you now. I'm offering to help you. Speak up.
Well, you have a buyer under contract, right?
Who does?
Yes.
How's that going? Where are you at with the process?
It is going really well. Appraisal is done. Inspection is done. We are doing a repair request today, and everything looks great. We'll close.
You guys are going to agree upon the repair request today, hopefully?
Yes. I haven't heard anything back from the listing agent.
Okay. Is today the last day of due diligence?
Yes.
Okay. So today's arguably the biggest day in your transaction, right? Yeah. You want to get that signed before 5 o'clock today, and hopefully you don't have to file for an extension. So yeah, I'd be on top of the listing agent the second we get out of this meeting and make sure that they're going to agree to that, or you can come to some kind of agreement by the end of the day. But yeah, you're at a very pivotal point where if both parties agree today, I mean, fingers crossed, I mean, you should be pretty much smooth sailing to the closing. So any questions about that repair addendum or need any help with that?
Not really right now, because those, like, the repairs were not like really big issues, I would say. Like, okay. Dishwasher is like that's the biggest issue in the house. Dishwasher.
Okay. Well, if you get to the point this afternoon or this morning where the listing agent says we're not going to do anything and you need some help, get Andrea, get myself on the phone, and we'll.
Yes, I will
walk you through it.
Yes, because you have a deadline today to come to agreement on repairs. Once you pass the deadline, no repairs have to be done. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just understand that the seller doesn't have to agree to fix all of it. Maybe they don't want to fix the dishwasher. Maybe it works and it just doesn't work to where your buyer wants to, and maybe you just have to let your buyer know, like, hey, like it's not worth losing our due diligence money and over a $200 fix for a dishwasher. Go ahead.
I got an answer for that. A home warranty will cover dishwasher, all your appliances. So just keep that in mind. If you can't get them to repair the dishwasher, then ask them if they'll cover a home warranty. One way or another. You guys aren't here in your career yet, so don't do this yet. But something that I do, my closing gift to my buyers and sellers are always the home warranty. And I've had every single one of them use it on an appliance. So always keep that in mind to do a home warranty, because it covers all appliances. It covers a certain amount. Like that dishwasher, if it's broken now, it's not going to cover it, right? It has to be in working order when you get the home warranty. and then it'll cover it when it breaks, and it's like for like. So obviously it's an older one. They're going to get one that's like it. It's not going to be the same thing, but at least it's a new appliance instead of your buyer having to pay for it.
But it is a great negotiating tool. If you got 6 or 7 things around the house, all of them are small, but they're going to cost the seller. Say, hey, look, if you don't want to fix this stuff, at least buy us a home warranty. And the average home warranty right now is what, between $600 and $700?
Yeah, right about there.
Yeah. So I mean, that can be a good compromise, and at the end of the day, that might be better for your buyer, anyways. Tyler, you've got a listing that's live. I know you've had at least 1 or 2 showings. Need any help with that?
Yeah, I need going to talk to y'all today about open house, setting that this weekend. So just kind of the process and how to go through with that, the best way to get people in.
I think I emailed you about that, Tyler. You just want to make sure that you're marketing, right? It's set in MLS, so they know. So because once it's set in the MLS, it goes out to all the third-party programs. So then everybody who's out there possibly looking at the house can see that there's an open house. So they can come in and they don't have an agent. But you also want to go on social media and market that, right? Market it out to your friends. Ask your friends and us. We should all be there for you as well, and share that. So all your friends and our friends are sharing that you have an open house this weekend. So put it on our private site and ask everybody, hey, agents, would you mind helping me out and sharing this open house? Okay, so just get the marketing out there. And then the day before, I highly recommend printing flyers and going around the neighborhood and doing the thing that I can't stand doing, but I'm good at this one because I have a reason, right? Is knocking on the doors and giving them a flyer and say, hey, don't know if you know this, there's an open house down the street tomorrow, 10 to 14, pick your name, or 10 to 2 or whatever it is. Come pick your neighbor, or just come and check it out if you want to be nosy, because you're building rapport with these people, whether they buy the house or not. At least you're getting people into the house. Right. So I always recommend doing a door knocking in the neighborhood the day before the open house.
What's the best day and time to do it? Saturday or Sunday?
Actually, there's really Brian, I don't know about you, but I don't think there's a set day or time. The only thing I can tell you is don't do Sunday mornings, because that's the time that's not good, because a lot of people go to church, right? You want to do it Sunday afternoon if you're going to do it Sunday.
Yeah.
That's
somebody just did one Friday, this past Friday evening. I thought it was a great idea, but I think, usually it's, Saturday 11 to 2 or something. But I mean, there's really no bad time, because Saturday 11 to 2 is going to be bad for some people who work on Saturday. So anyone else have any clients that they're working with or need help with?
Hey, Brian, can you hear me?
Yes.
I still have the same investor lady that I was telling you about, I called you about.
Yeah.
For some reason, she wants something that's not on the MLS. I couldn't understand why was that so important to invest? Something that's something that she can flip quickly, but something that hasn't been on MLS or it's not on MLS now. I looked and actually expired and found exactly what she was looking for, but when she found out at some point it was an MLS, she was kind of hesitant. Do you know why?
Yeah, I mean, some investors are just funny about that, and they're trying to find the best deal and trying to get off market stuff. I mean, you've talked to this investor enough? I mean, they seem pretty legit, like they would actually put in offers on stuff, or they have bought stuff before.
Yes, but for a long time I was just looking for, and I actually talked to one of the other agents on our team. I just called her because she gave me her card when I was in the office and asked me if I had any questions to call. So I called her. And she says probably good to get a proof of
funds.
That's kind of what I was hinting at. Is is she a legit person that's actually going to buy, or is she looking for something off market so she can kind of go in there and steal it? Because if it's been in the market, in the MLS, there's ways to protect it from the previous agent and the current agent. So, she may be looking to try to find ways around that. I mean, you're going to have people that call. I mean, I get that at least once or twice a week. I mean, Andrew probably does too. Hey, I'm an investor looking for stuff. Keep those people in your back pocket. I mean, if you find stuff, obviously send it to them. And, I have an Excel sheet with probably 15 different investors that I can call or text anytime, but I wouldn't I don't know how to say this. I wouldn't spend a ton of time in that, right? Like I would just, I'd be focusing, a lot more on trying to find more of a traditional buyer, traditional seller. And then if you stumble across something, then hit her up. But I wouldn't focus a lot on that. I mean, if you're already looking at expireds and for some buyers anyways, that's off market, I'd be focused on calling them for yourself to go out there and try to get the listing, and that's great. And that's what Tyler's been doing a lot. That's what I do a lot is, I'm going through those for sale owners and those expireds and getting myself out there in person and then turning those into listings. So I would be focusing on that. But yeah, I mean, there's some kind of reason why she has to have it off market. And that concerns me a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't want to have to worry about paying an agent or anything. So also, you know what I mean? So they can try to get it cheaper. That's usually when I'm working a legit, and this is what I mean, a legit investor, and they're trying to get it off market, because they want to avoid the agency fees, which puts more strain on you because you have to make sure you get paid for all your work, right? To reach out to the seller and say you're willing to pay. But it does help them save probably a good 10 grand on a house because they're not, they're getting a seller before they pay an agent.
But if you can also find a distressed house or a house that's been on the market, Carlos, for over 100 days, I mean, a lot of times you're able to come off that price, 10, 15, 20 grand, and it's enough that it's still a good deal for them. You're still getting your commission and that listing agent's still getting their commission. So there's definitely ways around it. But if she's a hard pass on anything that's in the MLS, and that's just tough. You have any other clients you need help with or working on? Or
like I said, I have two investors doing, but that one that was really kind of
gotcha.
It's weird, I guess.
It'd be fine as long as you have proof of funds to show that they really do have the funds to buy this house. It'd be worth working, but investors will take up a lot of your time. Just know that. I'm not saying don't you work with an investor, just know it's going to take up a lot of time. But once you get in with their trust and they trust you and they're always using you, that's a good 4 to 8 transactions guaranteed a year when you have a good investor in your back pocket. So just
actually, I'm sorry, I do got one other question. I have a lady went through the whole mortgage process. She talked to the loan officer, and the loan officer approved it and everything, but the buyer don't have closing costs. So the mortgage loan officer was saying it's a good idea to ask the seller to help with the closing costs.
Yes.
So I do that a lot. I mean, on any offer that I have a client that doesn't have a lot of money, and that's going to be a lot of your clients, is I'm going to put a seller credit on almost any offer that I need. So if you've got a $250,000 house that just came on the market, maybe you put an offer for $268,000, or $250,000 house, you put an offer for $258,000 with $8,000 being a seller credit. So they're still getting full offer price. And that $8,000 seller credit shows up for your buyer at the table as cash, right? So that goes straight towards their down payment and their closing costs and all that stuff. So a lot of lenders aren't going to mention that to their potential buyers, their clients, but I would always mention that it's going to make you look like the expert. But if you structure a deal like that, most agents, being on the listing side, when I get an offer that has a seller credit on it, I know it's a good offer because they've already done their homework. They know exactly what they need to buy. So I look at it as a very strong offer. But yeah, I would let your buyer know, like, hey, let's go see some houses. We'll structure it where, and it's usually the most you can do is around 3 or 3.5% of the total price, right?
So that's what I was going to touch on. Make sure you know what kind of loan they have, because each loan has their specifications of the percent that you're allowed to ask for. So like a conventional loan, you can go up to 6% if it's a conventional loan. Your FHA and your VA is 3.5%. So just make sure you know those, because you can't, which means, so you got a $200,000 house and you're on an FHA loan. I can't do the math. What's that? 6,000 is the most you can ask for seller concessions, I believe. Because that's 3.5, so I can't do the 0.5%.
Yeah, so I usually got it as a rule of thumb. I normally say 3 or 3.5, just because even on a conventional, if it's depending on what type of conventional loan they put them in, sometimes there's other things. So I mean, if you can get 3.5, because at some point, you know, they're not going to give you a $20,000 credit normally, but you know, on a $300,000 house, if you ask for $9,000, right, that's going to be enough to help them get into the house, and cover most of their fees. So it's a great way to build trust with your potential buyer. So yeah, I would maybe recommend that, Carlos, if that would be helpful. And try to figure out how much they need and just build that right into the offer. I think it's on about page 10 or 11 in the contract is where you put the seller credit. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, back to the open house. Do you guys do refreshments and stuff, or just have the open house and let people walk through?
Depends on you, but I usually do just like water and some sort of treat. Could be candy if it's during Halloween time. It could be just something small, so you're not spending a fortune on it. And just I get those little mini bottles of water.
Not mini bottles like airplane bottles.
And it asks for a description. Are you supposed to write anything in a description or just post it?
You can just post it. Just put it. Yeah. I mean, I would put a description in about the house just so they can see, like, just make it sound like, oh, it's a must-see house, right? Come see this house. It's gorgeous. It's not going to last long, whatever, just to get people in there, right? You want to drive interest. So make it sound like it's $1 million house being listed for 300,000 or whatever, you know?
Maybe like an 11 to 2, 11 to 3 on a Saturday.
I think 11 to 3 is too long of a time. I would do 11 to 1 probably, or 12 to 2. Just kind of do a 2-hour window, because you want everybody coming in that short window, so it looks like there's a lot more interest.
And if it's vacant, make sure you get there early, open the doors and windows, because it might be stagnant in there. Be prepared and ready. Maybe have a little light music on in the background. Obviously have a lot of business cards ready. Maybe have, maybe go to Staples and print out some, brochures. Definitely have a sign-up sheet. I mean, whether it's on your iPad or actual piece of paper, but make sure that everyone that comes in there writes their name, phone number, and email address down. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to sell the house, but for me, an open house is all about getting new clients, whether they buy that house or another house.
Exactly. Time blocking. We're going to go over this on Wednesday, but the importance of time blocking is keeping yourself on a schedule, right? So, and I'm going to have this paper up for you guys on Wednesday. So, and I'm going to give you guys a handout for time blocking and want you to do it for the next week. But it's important to keep yourselves on a schedule, because real estate agents have this issue with getting a phone call and trying to jump right now into that, whatever it is, because, they called and they said they want to see this house and they just might make an offer. Well, you know what? The house is still going to be here in 3 hours. And if it's, what time is it? 10 o'clock, and my 10 o'clock is prospecting time. I'm not jumping out there and making us walk through a house with the potential that we might close it, because it's still going to be there at 3 o'clock this afternoon during my time block schedule of viewing homes, right? So it's just to keep you on a dedicated schedule, so you're still doing those activities that create future business. Because a lot of people tend to throw that to the side to go do the now business, right? And then you close that one and you've got nothing going on because you forgot to stick to your time blocking, make sure you're still prospecting. But we'll dive deeper into that on Wednesday.
Yes, this is. I mean, you guys are interfering with my prospecting right now.
This is a good spot for us to stop for the goals and planning, because I'm going to email everybody their 2023 business plan. We've talked about all day today for the last hour and a half almost about how important goals are and how to best build those goals, make sure they're attainable and they're not too far-fetched, right? So I think this is a good stopping point for today. What do you think?
I think this was perfect. Yeah. If you guys can be there on Wednesday, try to be there. It'll be good. If you're not time blocking, for prospecting, then you don't have to do it every day, but you should be doing it several times a week. That's the only way that you're going to hit your goals, is by setting aside time and time blocking. So anybody have any questions? I know we kind of went a little long this morning, but anyone have any other questions while we're on here?
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, we'll hopefully see you in person on Wednesday. And if not, we will see you next Monday.
Yeah, guys. I'm gonna go get the puppy if you guys want to see the puppy. I know you want me to share the puppy. He's so
Share
cute.
the puppy.
I gotta go get him though. And I'm still in pajamas, so don't judge.
Oh man. Any appointments today, Tyler?
I'm gonna start making calls here in a little bit after we get off.
I took a second listing on Friday to that $1 million house on Thursday. Now I took a little $150,000 house on Friday. It should sell quick. It's in Charlotte for $150,000, so it should sell.
Wow.
Hopefully very, very quickly. So
Any word from Tommy or Thomas?
No, I'll reach out to him today. Actually, I'm gonna check and make sure it's not in the contract. If not, then I'm gonna hit him up with the text.
Oh,
He's not the cutest thing ever.
so cute.
The other guy's down here too. He's a big guy. I can't take him anywhere without the other guy wanting to follow him everywhere. Look how little he is.
He's so tiny.
My hands are tiny, so you know he's tiny.
What's his name?
Dexter. So funny story. We have Dawson, and my old aunt always calls Dawson Dexter. So we said when we got another puppy, it has to be a boy and we have to name him Dexter. So this is Dexter. I know the weirdest name. It's like
you are not going to be time blocking this week for sure.
No, there's no time blocking unless it's to take him out and try to figure out how to get him potty trained and sleeping. He's been good though, you guys. He hasn't even whined or anything during this hour and a half call. He's hi. I just woke him up though, so I probably shouldn't have. But he's so cute.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you guys go.
All right,
Congrats.
guys. Well,
Good luck
I'll
on
be
getting
around all
sleep.
week. If you guys need anything or want to ride along on any appointments or showings, shoot me a text. Let me know.
Yes.
Later.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.